Hey guys, we are live again. Okay, so today we have another special guest. This is under our Healthy Horizons project. And for those of you who are ready for the holiday season, we're going to be talking about some health tips. And I have Miss Tissy Smith. Tizzy, girl, tell us a little bit about what you do so that way people can get to know you. I'm going to share this to, some of my social channels. Guys, when you tune into this, whether you're listening on the replay or whether you're here live, I want you to go ahead and tune in, ask your questions, and then, you can always, follow back up in the DMs and let us know how you enjoyed this live stream. Tizzy, let us know what you do. Let's get to know you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Tissy. I am a nurse. I'm an RN. I've been a nurse for 23 years, and I do a few things. Um, First and foremost, I am a clinical instructor for BSN nursing students. I also own a IV hydration business where I administer IV hydration to pretty much healthy people. Usually, it's not the chronic illnesses that I could tend to. If you've had a hangover, you've been on a long flight, migraines, we have this Myers cocktail. It's just like covers everything. You want to look pretty. We have a drip that we can add biotin to it. Everybody can use a little biotin to help that skin snap back. And just some regular hydration type of fluids. That's pretty much what the bulk of the business is. I will be adding Botox and dermal fillers to the services soon. So that's pretty much what I am into right now. I kind of do dabble in some IV, IG administrations as well.
See, I'm always getting to know these layers about what it is that you do, and I know that we, have to keep ourselves and maintain our health. My question to you, listening to what you do, right?
Okay.
What inspired you? Because I found you on TikTok. So,
Right.
y'all, this is the power of networking, right? Because I was like in her
Yeah.
DMs.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you show up every day and you're always educating your audience. Y'all make sure y'all follow her over there. But what inspired you to like blend what you do in healthcare into, making this engaging community on TikTok? Like what really made you want to get on TikTok and do that? Because everybody ain't on there teaching that.
Right. So what inspired me is TikTok is a huge platform, right? We are in a social media world. Initially I was not a social media person, but once I got on TikTok and realized that, okay, I can do this, I use this platform as a way to educate the public, the world, because TikTok is global about different healthcare topics, and the IV hydration because we are in an electronic world, and now that is better than listening it in the newspaper. Like, who really reads the newspaper anymore? People are always on some type of social media platform, whether you are active on it or you just use it for information. So I combine my 23 years worth of nursing knowledge with TikTok to share with the world ways to be more healthy.
I really do love that because when I watch you on TikTok, I'm like, where does she find the time? This is just me being real. And I love
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you wear so many hats because yeah, listen, like so if you didn't hear her, I wrote it down. Nurse, right? Educator,
Mm-hmm.
IV hydration specialist,
Mm-hmm.
and she's a content creator. So like you
Mm-hmm.
guys can like, mold your own thing and make it so unique to you. But how do you keep, like the purpose of everything in front and center for you? I can get very lost in social media and then start pivoting to the left a little bit. You know what I'm saying? How do you keep that at the forefront of your mind, like why you're doing the things you're doing?
Prioritize. I prioritize my life. I prioritize my time. And I'm very intentional about it because I still have a job. for some people, TikTok, social media content creating is their job. It is not my job. My job is nurse. Nurse is the job and that what comes first. I forgot to tell you also, I'm a student. I am in the doctoral program. I am getting my doctorate degree in nursing practice. So I am very intentional about how I do things, how I utilize my time. And if it and it's challenging some days because I have to make sure I'm not overextending myself. But again, one thing that I know and I have understood is we make time for the things that we want to make time for, and I just make use of my time. And at the same time, I use my Sunday afternoons for just me. There's no social media or anything like that because I still have to make time for me. So it's all about prioritizing what's more important and being intentional about how much time you spend on things that you need to get done and completed every day.
I love that. You're so structured. I wish
Yeah.
we grow up to be Tizzy. Congratulations too for being in the doctoral program and just
Mhm.
for, going after your goals. I have very similar dreams, just elevation wise, being more than, where I'm at today and just always being a student, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, and I want to ask you another question too, because I know this is like the most simple thing in the world, but it comes up. Like, why did you become a nurse? What was really the inspiration behind that in itself?
The inspiration for me becoming a nurse was God. It's just where I supposed to be. I learned how to take a blood pressure when I was probably 15 years old, right? So when I was in high school, I was in the health occupations program the entire, 4 years I was in high school. So that created that foundation for me. That is what instilled healthcare into me. It was meant to be a nurse because I don't know how to do anything else.
I love that. It's like so simple.
Yeah.
Your tone and the way that you speak and come off, it's so calming. I love it so
Thank
much.
you.
I don't know if people tell you that, but I love it so much. Probably
Mhm.
like how you say you should be a DJ or whatever. You have your own show.
Yeah, yeah,
I love that so much. So yeah, thanks for sharing that because
absolutely.
I think it's really important to know why people do what they do. I do want to go into a little bit more of like wellness and prevention because it's the holiday season.
Uh-huh.
People are going to be looking for these awesome tips on how to like really get guided.
Okay.
Um, and I know that a lot of times during the holiday, we push ourselves really, really hard. Like I work with a lot of women entrepreneurs that's like, oh my God, I got to get the gifts ready and I got to get the food and I got to, and then we're now in a world where, people playing with people's money. It's like those
Right.
benefits aren't as available. So
Mm-hmm.
people are really going through a very stressful time now.
Mm-hmm.
What are the first signs that our bodies are telling us to slow down that you can kind of guide us through?
When you are tired a lot. When you are tired a lot, if you are sleepy a lot, that means your body needs some rest and you need to stop and make yourself priority. I speak a lot on my lives on TikTok. Love on yourself a little bit more. And that is the holistic part of that means making sure that mental health is good, making sure you are good physically, psychologically. So the first sign that you need some rest is when you feel like you're doing too much, it's time to take a break.
Man, that's such a simple but very powerful tip right
Yeah.
there because I have been there.
Yeah.
I have been there. It's like you just can't get enough rest. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you're just tired all the time. Yeah. So if that's the case, okay, so let's go into because that's some of the first signs, and I'm sure they can get a lot more tips on your TikTok. She already told
Uh-huh.
y'all go over there, tune in. What do you suggest? Like, what do you go to when it comes down to your own immune support? Like, do you have any tips or any like rituals that you use or that you suggest?
I would suggest a multivitamin. If you're not someone that's into, pills and stuff like that, just that good old vitamin C. Good old vitamin C. An orange. What I do in the winter and fall months is I like oranges. There's some special oranges from Florida that Public sells. It's a little got a price tag on it, but they're really good and high in vitamin C. Keeping your hands washed and some good vitamin C will keep all the germs away from you. I hardly ever get sick. If I am sick, it's like a sinus issue or something like that. But physically, I've never been in the hospital with a medical problem. And
Yeah.
I am 49 years old.
Okay, throw it out there, sis. Okay, like you said, it don't ever crack. I love this. I love this for you. I love this for us. Like, we're really just kind of going through some of the tips that Tizzy has given us, guys, for the holiday. I think we have to be mindful going into things, right? This is prevention, not just walking into it and then being overwhelmed and drained and tired. So that first sign that your body's telling you to slow down, Tizzy said it. You're tired all the time. I love the go-to vitamin C. So simple. You can get it from so many resources.
Right.
And you specialize in IV hydration. I think that is so cute, y'all. Like, IV hydration is like, it's, I don't know, it's giving bougie. I don't know why. I don't know. That's just me. But for those that are new to it, what are the key benefits of IV hydration that you can share, and who can it really help the most?
IV hydration can help anybody, even if you're someone that has a chronic condition. Of course, you would need to be under the care of your physician. I have to say that, this is just for educational purposes only. But IV hydration is good because our body we lose fluid in several different ways, whether it's perspiration, whether it is urination, whether if it's vomiting, things like that, we lose fluid. So IV hydration can replenish and replace those fluids. Something as simple as 500 milliliters of just regular normal saline, which is just basically salt water, right? Um, to be honest, we all can probably benefit from some fluids because of the fast-paced lifestyles that we live. We are the demands of our lifestyles. Sometimes we don't drink enough fluid. And anybody can benefit from additional fluids, except for, people that have like kidney issues. But if you are normal and you don't have all those medical problems, you could really benefit from IV hydration. And I speak about so many people have had like bariatric surgeries, weight loss surgeries. Most of them should be taking a vitamin every day, pretty much for their lifespan. When you take the pills, by the time your body metabolize it through the liver or kidneys, whichever one is going to do that, without me getting into the pathophysiology of how that works, your body is only absorbing just a small amount of it. So if you would add a IV hydration bag of fluids, because you can add the magnesium, the potassiums, the same vitamins and minerals that is currently in your body that is low, just a bag of that once a month, twice a month will do wonders on the body, in addition to the supplements that bariatric patients have to take. It would benefit actually more than the supplements because, by the time the body breaks it down, you only get a small amount of it. And for the athletes, you lose a lot of your electrolytes through all of the sweat and the perspiration, right? We can give that back. And that glutathione, it is like for tissue repair. When you work out a lot, you tend to, have tissue damage. So it works on the tissue to kind of repair them from all the stress from lifting the weights and stuff.
Yeah, and I consider myself an athlete, even though I don't work out anymore. But
Hmm.
I mean, I know that lifestyle. I sometimes get back into it. And I think it's so important to know these things. I didn't think about that. I'm also thinking about when, and this is just off. This is just off of the list I had, guys. Like Tizzy made me think of a whole example. My nana, she's 92 this month,
Hmm.
and we're caregiving for her. And some of the areas that we were um, tracking in her healthcare routine, her regimen, was her nutrients, and she was missing a couple of those things: potassium, I think it was magnesium, and it's hard when, if you care for someone and say if they have like dementia, Alzheimer's, like anything that blocks their ability to communicate well about what's happening with them, you kind of have to keep them maintained. And I think IV, that just
Hmm.
kind of came up for me. It's like you don't even have to really think about it, that IV hydration can maintain that healthy lifestyle.
Right.
I love that. Okay, let's get into it a little bit more, guys. We're gonna ask Tizzy a few more questions,
Yeah,
and
let's get into it.
because I'm loving this, I'm learning too. When we talk about this wellness conversation, let me go back to the wellness and prevention. So if you're a busy woman, okay, because
Hmm.
I know that happens a lot, especially y'all know how we do in the WIN community. Y'all know we're not strangers to this. We say it all the time. Oh, I got too much to do. I have very little time. And for those women who, you know, that don't really have a lot of time, how can they find it? How can they find time to maintain a lifestyle where they have preventive care? um they already feel stretched thin, right? So now
Right.
how can they look at including this preventative care into their lifestyle? Like what kind of tools or strategies have you come across that you think can help some busy women today?
Well, it's called concierge. Lux IV and Beauty Concierge can come to you.
Okay.
It can be mobile. It can be mobile. So we're just living in a world of convenience. It's the same way you can order your food from Uber Eats. The same way you can order from Walmart and they deliver your groceries. There are I know massage therapists. They'll come to you. Um, my IV services, it can come to you for the fact that we live in a busy world. If you're around the pool, we can come and give you some hydration sitting around the pool. If you are playing basketball, we can come to you and give you some hydration after you finish playing basketball. So that is how you can continue on your wellness journey, your health journey, because the services can come to you. Especially, the demographics of where I'm from. The traffic is very heavy, and a lot of people don't like to fight the traffic. So that concierge services is definitely a benefit of that.
Well, listen, I don't. These are some very, very straight to the point answers that you're giving us, Tizzy, because I believe you've had these things already on your plate. Like you've serviced people that
Mm-hmm.
have these type of problems. So if they're a busy woman, you don't feel like you're getting enough sleep, you have a
Right.
routine. There's really all kind of avenues that they can reach out to you for support. Let's talk about mindset and stress management,
Okay.
because I think that everything kind of evolves from the mind.
Uh-huh.
And holidays bring that joy, but then it's also stress. I see it every year.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some practical ways, right, that you would suggest people can do to manage their emotional overload?
Set those boundaries. Set those boundaries. No is a complete sentence. Don't overextend yourself. Self care. that goes back to what I'm always talking about. Love on yourself a little bit more. Make yourself priority. When you make yourself priority, that means maybe you need 30 minutes to just meditate. Maybe you need to take 30 minutes before you go to bed at night and journal. Put your thoughts down on paper. How did your day go? Sometimes we're not comfortable talking to people about our feelings. Put it on paper. Let's get even deeper. All these thoughts that you have written in this journal, now you have 2 or 3 journals. Take it to a publisher. Write a book about how you have been feeling, right? Isn't that how Lifetime movies was birthed? We might see you on Lifetime, and your journey can help others. Make yourself priority, love on yourself a little bit more, and it'll help with that stress.
Listen, I don't even plan on being stressed out for no holidays, but you already helping me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think this is such a great conversation. Thank you for sharing that. I also, want to speak to just the advice you would give women who actually feel guilty about taking care of themselves. I think that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when other people depend on them. I mentioned caregiving earlier. Some people have children,
Right.
What advice would you give those women who feel guilty?
It's not, you shouldn't feel guilty. It's necessary. It's necessary. That will get rid of the guilt. Prioritize. So protect your rest. It isn't lazy. It's part of healing. Protecting that energy. It is essential. So when you go into it with that thought process, you won't feel guilty. That is something that I had to learn myself. I was more worried about how someone else felt when deep down inside, I wasn't okay with it. I didn't want to do it. I really don't have room in my life to do it, but I'm going to do it because I didn't want someone else to feel a certain way about it. But then I had to realize that it was tearing me down and it was breaking me down because I wasn't prioritizing me. I was prioritizing someone else.
That's really deep. I'm glad you shared the personal side of it because I wanted to know how you actually create those boundaries between, how you serve people and your own mental health. I'm sure you've had some lessons learned there.
Learning to say no when you are overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Just learning to say no when you are overwhelmed. And my thing is, if someone loves you and someone really cares about you, they will respect those boundaries. I spoke earlier about being intentional. I am intentional about the people that I surround myself with. I am intentional about how I spend my time. I am intentional about how I do anything in my life. Because at the end of the day, it affects me. And sometimes people are being selfish when they are not respecting your boundaries.
That's so powerful. And I'm glad you used the same measure because I think that is something we need to hear a lot. No,
Mm-hmm.
it's a complete sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You're very passionate about education and community health. What do you wish more people would understand about the importance of health literacy?
What I wish people would understand more about health literacy is it is okay to need help. It is okay to not be okay. It is okay to admit I need help because there are people out here with master's degrees, doctorate degrees, all types of degrees to be able to help you with whatever the problem is, whatever the issue is.
Mm. That's so good because I know that there's a lot of people that are talking about health that may not be necessarily in that position. to advise all the time.
Yes.
But I will say this, if you're talking
Yes.
to these professionals, nurses, health professionals, right? How can they use social media like you do to educate and empower, their audiences?
Just be authentic. Social media is the hottest thing out where we are right now. Thinking back when I became a nurse 4 years ago, we document on paper, right? Now everything is cyber. Everything is on this computer. And social media is at the forefront of everything we do. So no matter which healthcare organization that you work for, there still is some type of social media involved in it. It might be more secure, it might be more controlled, but every healthcare facility has a Facebook page. Every healthcare facility has an Instagram page. It's just controlled as to what is published on those different social platforms. But social media is a great way to express, educate, look for resources, or just search for whatever it is you need help with. So, what I would say for anybody who is credentialed, who does have the knowledge, to help spread to the world, use it, because they will get on TikTok when they won't read a book. They will get on TikTok or Instagram when they won't turn on the news. Think about when we used to have cable. How many people have cable anymore? Do you know anybody that don't have a phone? So it is the most cost effective, if not totally free way to get information out and market yourself about whatever it is you're passionate about.
That's so powerful. Listen, if I was in the field, I'd be encouraged right now. So, those of you who are out there that can educate, please do. If not, get into the community with Tizzy. I do have a couple more questions before we end this live. And this is, mainly about encouragement, right? We want
Mm-hmm.
to empower you guys like we do with our mission and make sure you have connections to network and collaborate with Tizzy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you could leave every woman that's going to be watching from here on out to the end of time,
Uh-huh.
if you could leave them with one powerful affirmation about her health, what would it be?
One powerful affirmation about your health is she believed she could and she did.
Okay. That is nice. Okay. I will definitely take that, put it on a t-shirt, y'all. I do want to know what's next for you though, Tizzy. Before we get out of here, please tell us like what are you going to be doing next on your mission to educate, empower, energize communities? What are you doing in the future?
What's next is I am in the process of locating a building. I want to put the business in a building and within office space to be able to connect with more people and help them on their healthcare wellness journey. um, Whenever I finish my doctoral degree, I'm not quite sure what direction I'm going to go in with that, but it's definitely going to be in a direction that is going to impact people positively in their healthcare wellness journey.
That's powerful. Listen, I'm right there for the ride, sis. Thank you so much for joining us today. You
Absolutely.
guys, thank you. And guys, listen, we will be dropping in the comments under here just information to follow Tizzy where she is and any call to actions. I do want you guys to follow her. Make sure you go on her TikTok where I found her. She does several lives there, educate and empower you in your health journey. And she is so amazing. I love her vibe. So you
Thank
go in
you.
there and you settle in, and it's just such a vibe. So thank you again, Tizzy. Have an amazing night, and we will see you guys on the next live stream.
Thank you for
Bye.
having me. Bye bye.
Thank you.